Good morning from Tom's Run shelter area. There's a nice spring just a little ways away, a privy. The door closes so it meets all the purposes. My roses, buds, and thorns from yesterday. This is Sunday. I met up with my friends yesterday afternoon at the Pine Grove Furnace State Park grocery store. I gotta make these phrases shorter. I'm stumbling all over them. I can't remember them. So we coordinated ourselves there. There's actually 13 hikers this year, 2 support people that'll meet us on Monday and on Wednesday. They'll bring us lunch and they'll let us dig into our own resupply bags. We've got those stashed in the car. So Rose was at, I got to meet up with them. Also because I was able to offload extras. My pack's a lot lighter. I don't have to have a full week's worth of food, that kind of thing. Everybody getting up and pulling down their food bags, so I decided to come over here, finish up my roses, buds, and thorns. Well, last night it was like old home week. All of the people I know, we backpacked together before over more than a decade. So it's good catching up with everybody. So buds, the weather today should be cloudy and then just touching the 80s in the afternoon. So it's okay hiking. I prefer hiking 50 to 60 degrees, but 80 is okay. I'm hiking pretty strong. Lighter pack, of course, makes that easier, and the trail is way easier than compared to north of Duncannon towards Delbar Water Gap. This is a really nice trail. We can really make some good speed. And so for a thorn, yesterday I had to say goodbye to Rob the Nomad. He'll probably pass us today, or tomorrow at the latest. He hikes twice as fast as I do. So he and I spent, I think 4 different times we ended up at the same place together. And last couple days we just hung out on the porch there at the Iron Master's Mansion. So it was a real good, relaxing time. So I wish him all the best. He's a good guy. Thorns, I've been out here long enough. It's time to go home and see my wife and take a shower and sleep in a real bed with a real pillow. So, just push forward and enjoy the time here with my friends. They're still breaking down camp. And I'll see you after later. See what I see? No, it's not the white blaze. It's a dry piece of wood hanging in the tree. If you're out here collecting firewood, that'd be perfect. While I was silk blazing south of Tom's Run shelter, came across this cool bridge, this little creek. Plenty of water here. We can drink it all. Filter and treat it. Don't just drink it. Now you notice this is a blue blaze. This isn't the way we want to go. But the trail maintainers have done us a favor, and they've reminded us that's the way we want to go. hear the owl, the woodpecker? Make sure you look for the roadrunner. Look both ways. And that's actually serious advice. The locals who actually live out here know that there's nobody else who drives on the road. And so they may not be driving as carefully and cautiously as we'd like them to. So stay to the left side of the road like you were taught, and listen for cars coming. Here we go. Little left turn according to the blazes. I noticed these yellow blazes, and I checked Far Out, and it doesn't know anything about them, but Far Out's an Appalachian Trail app. It's not a generic app. I also travel with Gaia on my phone, which is more of a generic app, and it shows that I'm standing on the line of Michaud State Forest. And sometimes that kind of thing is marked with a blaze like this, though I don't know. Does anyone else know what the yellow blaze is for? Don't follow them. That's not the AT. We're out here to follow the white blazes. Well, I've reached the official halfway point for the 2020 Appalachian Trail. It doesn't mean a lot to me because I'm maybe quarter the way done with the trail if you add up all the miles, and I'm clearly not even close to halfway, and no way am I through hiking and halfway, which this would be a very meaningful spot to be. I have been telling people that they're out of ice cream at Pine Grove Furnace, but I tell them I'm just teasing them. But there's a lot of people that are set for that ice cream. It was a good thing I was looking both ways. I don't want to jinx anything, but this is a foot traffic only trail. Can you imagine a trail better than this for foot traffic? I don't see any rocks. As far as I can see, no rocks. All right, so these logs are laid here. There's the AT going off that way. And clearly, yeah, they probably don't want you to walk to the left because that's really where the water's going. These logs weren't put here to tell you not to go there, not to go to the left. They were put here so you could cross when there's water here. And there's no water here. So I'm gonna go straight through. I'm not even gonna go on the logs. I was a little confused when I came upon this bridge here, just a little bit north of the Birch Run shelter. It's not that far out, and there's lots of water here. There is a spring at Birch Run shelter. I haven't reached it yet, and so maybe this is what it's referring to. I don't know. It's the shelter's just a couple hundred yards up. For a lot of miles I've heard about the privy at the Birch Run shelter. And it does look pretty nice. I'm gonna walk up here and check it out. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about something pretty serious. I broke camp at Tom's Run shelter this morning. I was out of camp by 6 a.m. Beautiful trails out here. Got here maybe 9:30, something like that. It was a really easy hike, just beautiful. The other guys in our group, other people started filtering in a little bit after that, probably 15-20 minutes after I got here. The next people showed up. We were all here except for two of us, and yeah, it was maybe an hour we were waiting more after the last person, and I started to be worrying now. It's a father and daughter. So eventually they showed up, and he's walking with a bloody rag on his head by his left eye. He had fallen and smashed his head on a rock, cut his head above his eye, below his eye, on his chin, smashed his glasses. And fortunately this year, one of the people in our group is a doctor. And so we're so blessed. He took care of the situation, got the wound cleaned up, got it bandaged up, bandaged up. And there's a hiker here at Magnolia from Canada, from Quebec, I believe. And she had a car available up at the parking lot a mile away. So everybody loaded up and helped and took some of the load. And a small group of us went up with him to the parking lot with his gear and everything, and he's off to the hospital now. And so just kind of serious. It puts a cloud on everything, and hopefully he'll be okay. It looked like it was mostly just stitches going to be required, nothing broken. He wasn't having any orientation issues, that kind of a thing, nothing to actually worry about. But it is real serious. It's a safety thing out here every day, and they went back and looked to see where he tripped and what caused it, and it's a perfectly fine trail. No reason that somebody could fall there, and he did, and that's happened to me too in the past. Walking along and suddenly I find myself on the ground, and so that's a time to be, it's a place and a time to be careful out here. Not a lot of goofing around or running, that kind of thing. I do carry the Garmin, which has I call it a helicopter button or SOS button. That if I fall, if I hurt myself, and I can push the helicopter button, and help will come eventually. It's not going to come right away like at home, 3 to 5 minutes, and it can be hours before help shows up. And so what I've decided to do is renew my wilderness first aid certification, It's expired a while back, and just on this trip, there's been 3 times where some current medical skills would really have helped, and my old skills did help, but I really think I need to have them current. So I'm looking at a class in October that would meet those requirements and just refresh my skills and maybe update the things that have changed. So anyway, sorry to put a damper on this video, but our safety and our friendship and everything, it's a real big deal out here. Well, I think we should take up a fund. I don't know how much it would be. A couple dollars per foot at least, probably. And we should save up our money and give it to the ATC or the appropriate administration, and just make the AT just like this the whole way. Maybe a couple of roots and rocks here and there, and don't change Mahoosuc Notch or the Whites or Nice Edge or the roller coaster. Don't get rid of the roller coaster, but maybe make the rest of it like this. Sand covered, flat, smooth. This does have a slight upgrade, but you know, I have to go with that. You can't really be too picky. Any changes you'd make to the trail? As you get more experienced and spend more time out in the wilderness, you'll make your own decisions on almost everything, which trail you follow, where you set up your tents, all of that kind of stuff. My recommendation, and you get to make your own choices, is don't set your tent up here. Okay, I need to alter my recommendation for changes on the Appalachian Trail. I think we still need to take up that collection and kind of smooth out the bumps, take away a lot of the rocks, but not just that. I'm walking through this pine forest and there's an inch of pine needles under my feet. So I think what we should do, smooth out some of the bumps, take out the rocks, and then just kind of cover the whole trail with 1 inch to 2 inches of pine needles. This is sweet walking. My feet feel happy. I think we can do it with volunteers. I don't know that we have to have a lot of money saved up and contributed to some bureaucracy. A couple volunteers with some rakes. There's inches and inches of pine needles over there. All we gotta do, have a couple volunteers come out, spend a few hours, and just rake all these needles over to the trail. Oh, that'd be beautiful. I'm going to bet that you recognize what this is. It's the friction knot I described earlier. Wrap it around the tree and then tuck that extra in. And the friction of the rope around the tree and the weight pulling on the rope keeps it in place. Let's follow that up. And we've got several of our food bags hanging out there. All of them well above where a bear could reach, totally away from any trees. And you might be confused if you can see it. The yellow rope is our primary rope. What's going on with the red rope, you might say? We have an extra carabiner there. And we pulled the first bunch of bear bags up. We had the bear rope, the red bear rope, going through the extra carabiner. It just went up empty, just came along with the bear bags. And then later somebody says, oh, I forgot to give you my bear bag. So we hook it onto the red rope and pull those up using the carabiner basically as a pulley. And that gets tied off separately. And you recognize this as well. In the morning, even if it snows and freezes tonight, we'll be able to undo that. Low temperature being someplace around 65 degrees Fahrenheit tonight, I really doubt that'll be an issue, but that's just a good habit. Dinner was great tonight. Beautiful trails. Roses, buds, and thorns today. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's 4th of July. That would, I guess, make today the 3rd of July. Roses. The trail was absolutely phenomenal, glorious, just wonderful. We had a long break, about 4 hours or so at the Birch Run shelter. That was really great. Sitting around talking to each other. I'll get to the thorn related to that later. Dinner was great tonight. Everybody had fun. A lot of extra food left over. We do get a resupply tomorrow. So everybody's food bags are pretty empty. For buds, yeah, people are looking forward to the resupply tomorrow, and we're going to be at Caledonia State Park where we can get some showers. And I think we're all looking forward to that. And as the guys get near me, they seem to be more and more eager for us to get a shower. I've been out here for 3 weeks, and they still smell pretty good. Even though I've had showers, I'm past my expiration date. So the big bud for tomorrow is some nice trails into Caledonia State Park and showers, and we're going to have sub sandwiches tomorrow for lunch. They're delivered. We don't have to make them or nothing. The big thorn, we were waiting at Birch Run Shelter for the last of our group to show up, and they were really delayed, and I was starting to get concerned, and then they did show up. And I mentioned earlier, one of our friends slipped, fell, hit his head on a rock. He is okay. We heard just recently that he got 14 stitches, so it's definitely a serious event. Unfortunately, they're going to, our friend and his daughter, they're both on the trip, they're going to pull out and head home. Probably a good idea. There's less chance of infection or ripping them open or falling again, all of that stuff that can happen. Otherwise, it's been a really great day. Everybody is in great spirits. I'm one day closer to getting to go home and taking a real shower and using deodorant again. So I'm looking forward to this. It's a good time. I am not looking forward to the potential rainstorms coming this week, but I'll make it through them. I've made it through rain before. All right. See you later. Bye.